Good day, everybody. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to replace your back left taillight on a 2012 Toyota Tacoma TRD. Now, mine's going to be a little bit differently because I have my third topper light or brake light connected through to this taillight right here. So someone backed into me and crushed my taillight. It's unfortunate. So the tools you're going to need here gonna be your other taillight. So I just ordered it in. It's like 69 bucks for this. Now it probably will not come with the bottom two lights, so we'll actually take out the top light and the bottom light once we replace it. The middle light is already wired in. You'll need a 10 millimeter, whether you have a screw or a ratchet. I'm going to have a scissors, a wire stripper, and tape because I'm going to have to rewire my third brake light back into this light. So the first thing you're going to need to do is there's 3 bolts right here. I've already pre-loosened them, but they're 10 millimeter bolts. You just take those out. Once you do that, your taillight's going to be pretty loose right away. You're not going to break it. You can use pretty good force. There's these 2 like locking pins that slide into place. It's like a rubber hole right here, and the pin goes through and it kind of expands. You can use a little bit of force. You aren't going to break it or just pop right out. So here are the pins that are connected. There's one right there and one right there to get a look at it. So what I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to unwire, and I'll probably, instead of using Gorilla tape, use electrical tape this time, unwire this, which is to my positive, to the middle light. So if you have the same thing, it's going to be your blue cable, remember, that you attached it to. I'll have to undo this, strip the new one down and reattach it, and then I'll have to take out these 2 lights right here. So all you have to do is just turn, expose the light, so the light actually fell back in. Alright everybody, so what I did is I took everything out. So you might have saw it in the last video, I dropped this light bulb down here. All you have to do is just turn it over and get it out. It's actually on the old light. But what I had to redo is I had to re-strip that middle blue wire. The one thing I would say is just be careful when you're doing that, because you don't want to cut that copper, otherwise you're going to render this whole tail light useless. So I just stripped that and pulled it back and exposed it. So the next thing is actually putting the light bulbs back in. So the orange one is going to go into the big one on the top. It just clips right in, just like that bottom clear one. Then all you have to do, so when I did take this out, this one's a little bit more, you have to finesse it as it goes through, or you pull it out, but it's just going to go back onto that plug-in. So we'll do that, and then I need to rewire this around that copper and then tape it up. Alright, sorry it's getting a little dark on us, but this light bulb is probably going to be the hardest one to clip in. It does take quite a bit of finessing to get it in, so it took me a little bit of time. But once you do, you just put them back in to the top holes. It's just a little bit of a screw lock. It'll lock right into place like that. Same thing with the bottom. The bottom one is super easy to push in. It's the same thing. Just put it in, screw locks down. Next step is going to be connecting the actual light. Make sure to have the small light side up, big light side down, and then the light, if you look at it, will just connect over top. So now, if you were to not have what I have, or having that third brake light, all you could do is just pop it back in to the 2 holes up here and 1 down there, and then re-screw in your three 10mm bolts. But with me, if you have something to where I do, all you have to do is just twist this around this wire right here, and then take your tape, put it around, and then heat it if you want it like more permanent. I'm not going to heat it because if for some reason someone backs into me again and breaks my light, it just makes it easier not having to cut everything down and then re-strip it, especially if there's heated tape on it. So I'm going to wire this back up, and then I'll show you the last 3 bolts one more time. Alright, now that I have mine wired in the middle, like I said, there's this one right here and this one down here. You might have to just move the wires out of the way. They're going to pop in, one right here and one right here. All you have to do is use a little bit of force. Your light will be popped in. It will be a little wiggly. All you have to do is put those 3 bolts now back in. You put 1, 2 down here. And then what you have to do is make sure to actually turn it on. So what I'm going to do is, before I actually put those 3 bolts in, I'm just going to turn my keys over and make sure the light comes on. So all 3 of my lights successfully are working. I'll put those 3 bolts in and it'll be all squared away. I hope this video helped you. Feel free to comment, share, or like.